So this episode is going to be about learning about yourself from the relationships in your life. So I feel that as a person, to grow and to improve, you need to be and have relationships in your life. And regardless, like even if you don't want relationships, you're still going to have them. And I'm not talking about like love relationships. I'm talking about friendships, parent figures, the person who cuts your hair, the person, a stranger, those kind of relationships. Like you learn so much from those relationships. And it's like, it blows my mind because like I'm a mom of 2 kids and I could see them mirroring me. And like, it doesn't like, it's so funny because I'll say something and then they'll say the same thing. And then I'll get like kind of irritated that they said that to me. And I'm like, and it had me thinking, I say that. So I'm like, where are they getting that from? So it's like, it's super important to be aware of like the relationships you have in your life. And the more aware you are, you can actually see and learn from these relationships. Now, there's a time in my life where I had a lot of relationships and they were very like, toxic. Like they were not the best relationships. They were not relationships that were making me into a better person. They were relationships that were supporting my bad habits. We bonded over trauma and pain and we numbed it with our bad habits. And then there was a lot of relationships with anger. Like it was just a lot of things. But then, I always was like, oh, I don't surround myself around toxic people. But that's the thing is they're not really necessarily toxic people. The only reason these people were in my life was so I can learn lessons from them, but also because you are what you attract. So to me, when I look back on those relationships, it was all these areas that I need to work on. And that's why I had all these people in my life, because we bonded over these bad habits and these things, because these are things that the external world was reflecting how I felt in my internal world. And you are what you attract. So I do shadow work, and in shadow work, you choose like a question and then you answer it. And a lot of it is like one question could be like, what qualities in another person irritate you and why? And like, when you think about it, when I was writing these qualities, it hit me. I was like, oh, that's because I have these. You don't realize it, but I had these. I had some sort of form of them. Maybe it wasn't to their extent, but it was there. And that's why I don't like these qualities. That's the whole point of shadow work, is to like reveal your shadow self, because we all have it. And it's about, learning about it, because there's nothing wrong. We all have these parts of us. We all have these hidden away traits and qualities that we don't, want to reveal, but we have them. And then the people around us reveal them. And like, oh, that irritates me about that person. And you think about it and you're like, wait 1 second. I have that quality. It's a hidden quality. It's there. It's very much there. Like I am not an angry person. Someone who's angry, it makes me uncomfortable, but it bothers me. And I'm not a very angry person. I'm a very positive person. But I do have anger, right? And when it comes out, I don't like the person I am. And that's why when people who have anger, like I used to be like, I don't want to be around angry people and all that. But it was like these qualities that I didn't like about other people were qualities that I have in me and that I just was hiding and not accepting that they're in there, right? So that's what shadow work is. But I'm very like aware that like how your life is like, and the people around you, they're in your life because of your beliefs, your choices, the things that your patterns. These are why these people are here. These are why you have all these certain people in your life. And that's why it's super important to be aware of your dynamic with people, because there's a lot of like learning opportunities about yourself, because the world is just like, it's a reflection of who you are. So you can learn a lot about yourself by seeing how you act in front of other people, how other people act in front of you. Like if you constantly have like a belief about yourself that you're not good enough, you're not, you're this and this and this, the external world will reflect that exactly back to you. So guess what? You're going to meet You're going to meet people who think the exact same thing about you. But it goes the other way too. You will also meet people who feel like the love from you, who, feel when you love yourself and feel like that part of you. And that's the thing, is like, it's always going to be an individual type of relationship. So you're going to have your negative relationships, and then you're going to have your positive ones. Both relationships are places where you can learn and grow as a person. The negative ones will reflect on kind of places you need to work on, reveal those to you. And then the positive ones are going to show you different versions of yourself that you didn't even knew existed. Like, it's going to open up doors about yourself, and you're going to be like, wow, I never knew I could be this person. And a huge one that I found with me was like, I always thought I was like a very, distant type of, like, not a very affectionate person. And then I realized that I am, because of when you're with certain people, you can be that affectionate person. Like, it's just certain people will bring out different aspects of you, but then you're learning so much about yourself with these relationships. These are things that it's all like in you, but it's brought out by interactions with people. And that's why it's super important to be aware of your relationships. And I have like moments where I'm like, man, I didn't even know I was capable of being that type of person in a positive way. But because this person showed me and like reflected this back to me, like, it brought out this version of me. So that's an amazing thing about like life. I love life. It's just so many opportunities to grow. But the other thing too is like, I was always like, okay, I need to heal. I can't do this right now. I gotta heal. I need to just like take time from people and stuff. This is the thing about healing, is you can heal all you want, but if there's nothing and nobody there to trigger you or to interact with you, then how do you know you're actually healed? Healing for me was going into situations and choosing a different option. Maybe a similar situation, like, obviously I'm not going to go put myself in bad situations so I can have a learning opportunity. That's not what I mean. But I would be in situations where you have to go, like, I'll give more of a clearer example. Let's say you got your heart broken and you go and you start deciding to do this like healing journey, but then you don't go out and date. Okay, so now you're healing and you're like, okay, I feel good. My nervous system, it's all calm, it's all relaxed. Like, I'm good. I'm actually like, I think I'm healing. Yeah. And by the way, you're going to be healing like everybody. You're going to heal for the rest of your life. We're all healing. There's no end point to healing. But then you're like in that state where you're like, I just feel good. My life's calm and peaceful. Amazing. That's amazing place to be in. But the thing is, even if you were in a healthy relationship, as soon as you go in there, you're going to get triggered by things. And you're going to have to learn how to manage those triggers. And that is where the growth is going to actually really happen, right? Because you can sit in your house and not date or talk to anybody, but then you're staying in the same state. You're not interacting, you're not growing, you're not figuring out, why did I get triggered? So another incident happened with me, and I got a little jealous of something. I do have sometimes I do get jealous. I get jealous of friendships when I feel like maybe they're not as much of a friend to me as they are to another friend. And then I always have to, I actually have this thing. So on my like Instagram, I have like a level up and then future self board, like where I put my reels, and it's like a nice reset, and I go there and I'll like look at it, and like it's like whenever I have to like refocus or like remember everything. And in there I do have one that says like about like different emotions, and jealousy was one of it. And then it said, when you're jealous, it's because you desire it. And so when I had this moment, and it was a small moment, when I had it, I was like, okay, well, why am I jealous of this? And then I thought about it, and I was like, okay, well, I can just like, it's obviously I desire it. When you start understanding like emotions and why you're getting this emotion, then it kind of like, again, everything's like about having new perspectives. Nothing's changed. Life is the same. It's the same situations. You just have a new perspective. You're a little stronger now. You're a little more mentally stronger, or emotionally stronger. So, and you have a new perspective now. Now you can look at things and be like, actually, that doesn't bother me. But you don't get that way until you're actually like out and about and you're meeting people and you're, you know, going and talking with your parents and you're doing this and you get triggered and you're like, why did what they say bother me so much? And then you reflect on it. And then that period where you're reflecting and you're trying to understand why that bothered you or why you don't like that quality of that person or why that made you mad, that's where you're like going to find the magic, because then it's going to be like, oh, that's why. And now you know something more about yourself. It's a beautiful thing. It's an amazing thing. And when you start doing things like that, then it kind of like, it just, you see your patterns. You see like for me, when I was, you know, like I ended it with my 8-year relationship. I didn't like, it wasn't like about them anymore. It was like, why do I keep attracting the same type of people? And I'm not even just talking about my relationship. I'm talking about my friendships, my relationships, my friendships, the people around me, the situations. Why do I keep attracting the same thing? And I was like, it's not a them thing anymore. It's a me thing. Now, obviously, it's not all me, but I mean, there's a reason why I'm in these situations. There's a reason why these are the people that are coming into my life, because of something inside of me that's attracting them, because we are who we attract. And it wasn't until I actually had to reflect and be like, you know, doing the shadow work and realizing like who I was more of a person and why these patterns kept coming up. And it was all about limiting beliefs, things that I believed about myself that allowed myself to be treated this way by these people. And that's like, for me, that was a huge learning point, because that was a big thing to be aware that. And now the people that I'm attracting, I'm like, congratulations, Rachel, you're doing amazing. Because now I'm like attracting so many amazing people. And I have people in my life from back then too, who are amazing. And actually a lot of them, some of them, they were gone during that period. And now they're back because obviously I am working on myself and they came back. But that's the thing, is like, when I look at my life now, the patterns, the people that I'm attracting, I'm so proud of myself, because now I'm like, I'm attracting people who are now for the newer version of me, the one that's, you know, focusing on good habits, taking care of themselves, loving themselves, doing amazing inner work. And I'm finding like-minded people and people who lift me up and make me grow and all that. Oh, my dog's here. Buffy, you want to come say hi? I don't know who you're saying hi to, but okay, I don't even know if she can come in here. Want to look up? Yeah, she's a big girl. But yeah, that's like a huge thing to learn about yourself through interactions with people, including animals, because animals teach you so much. They teach you so much. They teach you about unconditional love. Like, it's amazing. So yeah, I think when you are out and about and you're interacting with a bunch of people, just take a moment, maybe take a look at all the people around your life, see the patterns, see what's going on, and just, yeah, keep observing and improving. And that's all I have for this one.